right, USG, it is September 1st for reference. As a spotted soldier fly literally flies in front of us. This is the garden for a reference. It is in between dead and alive and about to be ripped up. We are in the process of planting fall crop. Some of it is planted in some of the beds that I've already dug up. Some of it will be planted in this Labor Day weekend. We are also in the process of building a new bed. As you can see it over there, it is blue to match the other two new beds that we build this year. So this will be the third bed that we build this year. It is, I want to call it a U, but technically it's not. My son is calling it a C. He is building it. I think my husband will come and finish it. But I'm just gonna give you a quick walkthrough. It's not a garden tour by any means. I just want to show you what the garden looks like really quickly, and we will attach this to the garden tour so you can see what it looks like once we are done pulling up all of these tomatoes. And where that bed is gonna go is exactly right here where we build this, I guess, ground bed. It worked for the season, but it's not what my future plans are. I love raised bed gardening, and that's what my future plans will always be. So that's what we're gonna do. My husband found the Ole, O-L-L-E, raised bed on woot.com, the sister company of Amazon. It was on sale. Anybody that makes these metal galvanized raised beds are having sales on all of their sites. Vigo Garden, Ole, Stratico, Vijayga, everybody's pretty much having a Labor Day sale. So, you know, go visit their sites and get you one if you are interested. They are amazing. I've been growing them for about 2 seasons now, and I can't complain. So let's just do this quick walkthrough just to show you what we are going to be doing this weekend, hopefully, and then I'll show you towards the end what the weekend progress is. So I already gave you a heads up on what we're going to be doing with the space. That bed over there, once it's fully completely built, is going to be going here. So when you see this next, is going to be a completely raised bed. What we're planning to do with it towards the ending of the season is probably plant some fall crops if we're not too late. Maybe just some lettuce, kale, you know, that can stand the light frost, or if I cover it, if I choose to do that, can go into a light freeze. So we are going to definitely have to move all of this. That I'm planning to keep. That's usually where I put my bok choy. We're going to have to move the blueberries. As you can see, my husband already moved them this way. I have one there. Hopefully, if budget is good, I can have 2 more of the circle ones that we have right there. That's where I hopefully want to put all of my 3 blueberry bushes. Right now I tried to plant a succession of cucumbers. I don't know if they're going to reach maturity before frost hits them. They already have a set of true leaves, and I think they mature within 50 to 60 days. And our first frost here is about, I think, late October. So I think I have time to at least see some cucumbers from it, but we shall see. I should be planting bok choy hopefully this weekend, so you know that comes to fruition very quickly. So we're gonna be busy. So moving along over here, we heavily pruned our raspberries. Usually it's not suggested to do that, but I've said in prior videos that we've been really heavily infested with the lantern fly, and This is one of their choices. It's either raspberries or grapes, and I totally had to take out my grapevine because they were just, it was a mating ground for them. So once I took that out, they kind of went for the raspberries, so we just pruned them down. They are coming back, which is good. So I will let them do what they have to do for the remaining of the season, and we'll see if we have a crop next year. Over here is one of the flower beds and tomatoes that volunteered. This I am going to be clearing. Well, we're going to be clearing today and amending and turning over. Over here, this one has been cleared, and as you can see, I just left the lavenders because they are perennials and they are going crazy finally that they have some space to grow. I did sow some beets, and we'll see what happens. I've never successfully grown beets, but we'll see what happens. Over there we have a second succession or second wave of cucumbers, and they are putting on their true leaves, and we will see if we get anything. Over here I have the oregano. It totally died. I sowed some seeds in place, so we'll see if it comes up. It looks like it might, so let's see. The culantro or the regao, it is going crazy. We had some unseasonably cooler temperatures, but the coming weeks we're gonna have warmer temperatures in September, kind of like a heat wave, I guess, before the summer goes out, so it's loving it. I trimmed the thyme. I do this every year, and I let it come back for fall, and then it stays like that, nice and bushy all winter long. Over here, the beds, the twins, I completely revamped this half of the bed. As you can see, it's completely clear. Over here I sowed some Swiss chard, and it looks like it's coming up. Over here I did Brussels sprouts, so we'll see. Never had a good dealing with Brussels sprouts. We'll see what happens. Hopefully that white moth doesn't come around and decimate it. We have some volunteer cherry tomatoes here. This bed is also probably going to be cleared out, well, the half remaining, because we have eggplants here, and it's not looking that hot. I have one here, and I think another one down there, and I've only had that produced. With these two is about 4 eggplants that I've got out of like about 3 plants that I have there. Pretty bummer, but it is what it is. Over here I have the determinate tomato bed, and as you can see, they're done completely. Harvested a lot of tomatoes out of here. There's some that are still there, but I'm gonna pull them, and I am going to force ripen them inside. They probably won't taste the same, but I am okay with that. I just need the bed so we can try our hands at fall crop. So we're gonna go ahead and do that, but it is officially cleanup and sow for fall. Over here we have the indeterminate tomato forest jungle, and they are sporing all over the floor. Once it comes to big tomatoes, we're not getting any more, so I'm torn in between, should I leave it or should I take it out? I guess you guys will find out. This bed over here was where the grapevine was at. That disgusting stuff is what's left. That's the thick trunk, and that's a bed now that I have to use. I just have to turn it, amend it, and we'll see what I decide to plant in there. The green stalks, I cut down all of the strawberries, and they're coming back. I didn't think that they would come back this year. The mint is taking over one of the layers of the tower, but I'm okay with that. I'll let it happen. Over here is the other one. Basil going crazy. Culantro going crazy. Parsley losing its mind. One tomato over here is probably decimated with, I think, white flies or who knows what that is. I have some cilantro growing over here. I told you guys I sowed stuff, so very excited to see what's gonna come up. Now I didn't fill everything up, but I have stuff coming up. And finally, as always, we end with the pepper bed, also another pepper jungle. I harvest here as need, or as it turns the color of maturity, but eventually I'm gonna have to come in here and just start harvesting, because we are gonna have a week, like I already stated, with nice high temperatures in the 80s and the 90s. But if the temperatures go too low, I definitely do not want to lose these guys. So we'll just start harvesting and preserving. And my best way to preserve these guys is just putting them in the freezer and just using them as I need them in beans, stew, soups, etc. And the hot ones, what I want to probably do is put them in strings and letting them air dry. I've been seeing that in a lot of, homesteader channels, and I want to try my hands at that, because I have a lot of hot peppers here. But yeah, guys, that was a very quick, walkthrough on what's happening here. Now it's the process of cleanup and replacing and seeing what my husband wants to do. My understanding is it's just that bed is gonna go here. Hopefully he doesn't flip things on me and wants to move other beds, because that's gonna be a lot of work for him and my son. I told them already that that's not what I want to do. I like the way my garden is laid out and the fact that I can walk through every bed. But we will see. Sometimes he changes his mind and he just goes for things. So now they're just going to go through here and start cleaning things up, finish that bed, and we're just gonna work through the weekend, because today is Friday, and hopefully by the ending of Sunday the garden will be cleared up, besides what I choose to leave in, which will definitely be the peppers, the tomatoes, the indeterminate. I'm in between, and we'll see what happens. I guess you'll have to stay tuned to see. All right, so as promised, as I left you guys on the first part of this video, I was gonna give you the layout of the garden. So this is semi-finished or almost finished. We were able to pick up compost from the New York City composting site from the Department of Sanitation, and we were able to complete this bed, not only build it but completely fill it up. The bottom of this bed is filled up with hay that I used to use for the chickens, so that eventually will compost and compress down. So the purpose of filling this up this year is so it can break down and I can compile more compost onto it in the summer of 2024. But this bed is enormous, it's larger than charge, and I can't wait to grow in it in the season of 2024. So it is amazing. Like I stated, if I had not stated before, it's a bed from Ole, O-L-L-E, and it's blue. It matches the other two beds, which my tomatoes and my peppers are in this year. So we're gonna move on over here. Everything else is pretty much still the same. We have the raspberries over here that has not been topped off yet. We got the blueberries over here, and these things are growing. We have the bed over here. I have been cleaning most of these things out, taking anything out that's dead and it's not going to continue to grow. I have one tomato that is still here. I did cut off the main leader that was growing up, and I have just a couple of them here just to give a last hurrah to see if we get anything. I'm not having high hopes on it. It's just there just to keep me happy. One dahlia or two still there. One doesn't look too happy. One is still producing, so we're just leaving it there. We have a bunch of little baby calendulas, I think that's what that is, and we're just leaving it there. I'm going to be picking up another compost pickup from the Department of Sanitation in Staten Island. And once I rip everything out from here, this is going to get a nice hefty layer of that, and these calendulas will be bye-bye. Over here, I really don't have anything besides my perennial lavender, one on each side. This one is doing better than the one that's over here, and just a full set of cucumbers. Don't think I'm going to get much from it, and a bunch of celosia. Not looking too much into that, but this is also going to get a nice layer of compost. This is the compost right here. Big apple compost. I have 2 bags left. I'm just holding on to them until I get the other ones in the ending of September. Moving over here, we have the jaricao or the culantro doing amazing. The oregano just completely died. I have the time trying to do a comeback over there. We have the green stalks over here going bananas with the basil. We have some cilantro, the parsley, another blueberry shooting up stalks here like crazy. Can't complain. Over here we have another green stalk. The mint is going bananas. I have some strawberry here that probably the birds are enjoying, and we're just letting them be. We have one of the twins here. She has been dressed with that compost, and guys, look at the compost. This is compost made here in New York City, the borough of Staten Island, and it looks pretty decent. Yes, it does need to be broken down further, but that's why I'm laying it down now, so like that when we get snow, and we just got rain yesterday, so you can see it has settled in a little bit. I do have 1 or 2 Brussels sprouts there. They were there before I put the compost down, so hopefully it doesn't get burned out, and it does something. We'll see. Hopefully I'm not too late. Still dealing with the spotted lantern flies. I can't. Give me a second while I try to get rid of it. Okay, moving on. It's gone. I mean, it's still there, but it's dead. So over here we have the other twin right over here. We just have some trash cans on top of it, obviously backwards because we're not trying to give any breeding grounds to the mosquitoes. And she has been dressed also with compost. So what we did to this corner, if you're not new around here, we just had some soil. Well, it was turning into soil. We just had some old chicken bed and manure just sitting here. My husband was trying to grow some red potatoes from it. He did grow a few, which was cute. So we took the round bed that we had over there in the corner, which is where that U bed is sitting at, and we put it over here. This is where I had my cucumbers growing before, and we're gonna see what I choose to plant here in the season of 2024. All right, moving over, my husband has his grills there. This was the bed that we had in that corner, was where the grapes were. We took the grapes out, and this bed was completely also full with compost. So this bed is ready to go also for the season of 2024. Over here we still have the tomatoes, or the tomato jungle like I like to call it, large and in charge, still producing. So we haven't ripped it out yet, but the soil on this bed, you're gonna see a bit of disease, but I just want to give you guys like a comprehensive to see if I can. The soil on this bed is really low, as you can see. So once we get that extra soil, we're definitely gonna fill that bed up, so it'll be nice rich compost. We have the peppers over here, and this bed is pretty much the same. We're getting a lot of peppers here between sweet and hot. I'm harvesting currently right now as we speak, and this bed is also in the same position as the tomato bed. You can see right here as the soil has receded, so it needs a hefty dose of compost, so we're going to be doing that as well. This last plastic bed here that I have, I'm going to try to be planting some bok choy hopefully here. I've had this bed for many years, so I'm trying to transition to do something maybe for fall, maybe some lettuce, maybe some bok choy, something simple. I'm not going extravagantic, but I still have these summer vegetables that are holding on for dear life, or I'm holding on to them because I'm just not ready to let go, but I know I have to. But when you have peppers that still look this good, I mean, it's just hard to let go. The tomatoes, the plants look good because they have gotten a lot of water. We have gotten a lot of rain here, but they're not producing as much. So we will see once I get the compost, which like I said, is at the end of September. Maybe I'll start letting go, but it'll also be probably too late to plant something for fall harvest in these 2 beds, but I have plenty of space in the other 2 beds. Let me show you some of the peppers that I've already harvested. So these are some of, if you guys can see, and I'm not casting a shadow or the sun is too bright, these are some of the sweet peppers that are currently coming out of the pepper bed. These are beautiful, they're large and in charge. I have some of the hot ones here, to name a few. These are just habaneros, and these are the lemon drops. I think those are the scorpions over there, or the ghosts. And I have so many coming out of there. They're coming out of my ears. I really don't know what to do at this point. We're just freezing them and or giving them out to friends or my husband, to co-workers. But I have my seed storage box. I have both of them actually here in tote because I'm looking to start sowing leafy crops into some of my planters and or raised beds to see if we can get something out of them before the gardening season of 2023 closes out. So this is what I have for you. This is considered my September walkthrough in the garden. We will see what October looks like, if we have an October, or at least the close out, so you guys can see me putting the garden to rest. I did order garlic, so that'll probably be one of the last things that we put into our garden beds. But other than that, guys, as always, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and we will see you guys on our next video.